Why Atlanta for the North American headquarters?
Atlanta has been very important for us from the beginning. We have looked at Atlanta, we have looked at an opportunity to start an international trade show organizer. In order to do that, you need an international hub. You need to be in access to an airport where you can go within a few hours, basically everywhere around the North American continent, but also get on a plane and fly over to Germany to make a quick trip to Shanghai and just have access to that international, that global access and airport. That was one very important thing. We also looked at it from the perspective of, do we have an international network within the city? Atlanta is an international trade show city, Nuremberg is. So if you look at the network, the opportunities of using companies around the metro Atlanta area, you're on the interstate, within a few hours you're in a 4-hour radius, you're all over the United States. And of course, we looked at it from what will make sense for our future shows. Where could we be with our future shows in order to make them successful? We wanted to make sure that we select a city that offers us locally a good spot for trade shows, but also has access to other cities. In Charlotte, for example, where we hosted the first American Coding Show, was an opportunity where within 3 hours, 3.5 hours, as you know, you're right there. An hour, you're there by airplane. So all these parameters, all this entire global concept of Nuremberg going overseas, going to North America, was finding a home right here.
What are the possibilities of acquiring a North American company or trade show to expand the presence here?
We're looking at it, first of all, of course, what is our portfolio? Our portfolio is very strong in Germany. We want to make sure that we stay within that competence and information path so that we can use our knowledge and look into other markets. If there is a company opportunity out there that we are possibly looking into communicating, cooperating, or even purchasing, we will definitely take that into consideration, but it needs to be something that is very close to home, per se, very close to the portfolio we have, the expertise in Nuremberg.
And trade shows also attract foreign visitors to the United States. Could you talk a bit about that?
Yes, it's still, a lot of people have talked in the past about the idea of, will trade shows survive? Will the internet take over? As we mentioned today in the press conference we had, it is still a very important fact to have business hands-on, to communicate, have the handshake, see and touch the product. So if you're going into this, then it is of utmost importance that you have that locally here.
What about the importance of trade shows in a down economy? Why are they even more important than they would be normally?
Well, first of all, they're a motivating factor. You see that companies are still in business. They're still there. They want to expand their portfolio. They're inviting international buyers. Your previous question was international buyers coming to North America. If we had our American Coding Show, which was a very hands-on trade show, where we had a lot of seminars, people came from around the world, from 48 countries, to participate in a trade show where they were not only going to the trade show floor and have the B2B activities on the floor, but they also were educated. And I think that is something that trade shows have to expand on. They have to look into the opportunities of educating people, but also providing that business platform so they can leave with solid business leads, that the exhibitors feel that we brought the right buyers from around the world. Not a lot of companies, if you look at Georgia, for example, we had a few companies from the state, from here, not too far from here. We had exhibitors who chose our trade show to go to Charlotte and use this as a business opportunity for them. They came back to us and said, you know, we had 48 countries on the floor. We saw people we would never see if we just do a mailing or do a cold call or we do a marketing campaign over the internet. They use this in order to set up businesses with people from Azerbaijan, from Vietnam, wherever these people came from. So that is what trade show organizers need to focus on. They need to expand, focus on the buyers first, because if the buyers come, the exhibitors automatically will follow.
So you're really dealing in information and in networking as much as you are selling an individual product.
Absolutely, yes. We're selling a vision. You know, we're creating something where we bring people together who all hope that they leave and have either an immediate return of investment for the exhibitor, someone sits down, writes the order, or the follow-up 6 to 8 weeks or 3 months later, and they will come back to us, and we stay in touch with our exhibitors. We want to know, what was your return of investment? Was that a success for you? Was it maybe, something we can improve our services for the next time, for the next show to come?
What is a good return on investment for a trade show? Is there a certain benchmark that you have?
Not really. You look at it from the perspective of, there's so many different industry segments out there. And to say someone in the coatings industry has an investment within a few months, maybe someone who is in the organic food will have an immediate impact because the person signs an order for whatever product this exhibitor has, so he leaves with an order of a couple of $1,000s. From my past experience, we have seen in many cases that companies had an immediate impact, left with a couple of $100,000 of orders, which is of course the ideal result of it. But it's very important for the exhibitor also to understand that we can create that platform for them. At the same time, it's their responsibility to follow up, make the phone call, make sure that they follow up with their business leads, not let the business leads sit around for a long period of time. Because if you don't follow up within a very short period of time right after that, the buyer will move on. They will look for some other opportunities out there.